You've heard the name Absalom your whole life, but nobody ever told you the truth. It was a king's own silence that turned his favorite son into his killer. This is the son David loved more than his own throne, the most beautiful man in all of Israel. And by the end of this story, he'll be hanging from a tree with 3 spears through his heart. So how does a father's golden boy become the man hunting him down? It starts with one crime a king refused to punish, and what David does in the very last minute will break your heart. Picture this: Jerusalem, 3,000 years ago. King David has many sons, but one of them turns every single head in the kingdom. His name is Absalom. The Bible says from the top of his head to the soles of his feet, there was not one flaw in him. People traveled just to look at him. And his hair, once a year he cut it, and the weight of it was famous across the whole land. Remember that hair. It's going to matter more than you could ever guess. But Absalom had a sister. Her name was Tamar. And one day his own half-brother, a man named Amnon, hurt her in the worst way a person can be hurt. Tamar was destroyed. And here's where everything changes. Absalom waited for his father to act, for the king to bring justice, but David did nothing. No punishment, no justice, just silence. Now stop and picture that. You're a brother watching your sister suffer, and the most powerful man in the world, your own dad, just looks away. Something inside Absalom went cold that day, and it never warmed up again. So Absalom made a plan. Not in a week, not in a month. He waited 2 whole years. 2 years smiling at Amnon across the dinner table. And then, at a feast, he gave the signal. His men struck Amnon down. The favorite son had become a killer, and David's family would never be the same. Absalom ran. He fled the country and stayed gone for 3 long years. A father and a son, torn apart by blood. But here's the part most people skip right over. David missed him. The Bible says the king's heart ached to go to his son. So slowly, carefully, they brought Absalom home. You'd think that's the happy ending. It's not. Because Absalom came home with a wound that never healed. And now he wanted something far bigger than forgiveness. He wanted the throne. So every single morning, he stood at the city gate, and when people came looking for the king's justice, the very same justice he never got for his sister, Absalom stopped them. He'd lean in and say, "If only I were the judge, I'd make things right for you." He shook their hands. He kissed them. Day after day after day. And the Bible has a chilling line for what happened next. Absalom stole the hearts of the people of Israel. Quietly, patiently. He was building an army of loyal hearts, right under his own father's nose. Now let me ask you something. If you were one of those people standing at that gate, hurting, ignored by the king, would you have followed him? Tell me in the comments below. But trust me, what he did next, nobody saw coming. Because one day, Absalom made his move. He declared himself king, and the whole kingdom split in 2. David, the great King David, the man who killed Goliath, had to run for his life from his own son. Picture the old king walking out of Jerusalem barefoot, weeping, climbing the hill while people screamed and threw stones at him. His golden boy had become his deadliest enemy. War was coming, and David gave his commanders one strange, heartbreaking order. "Deal gently," he said, "with the young man Absalom, for my sake." Even now, even hunted, a father still trying to protect the son trying to kill him. The 2 armies crashed together in a great, dark forest. Thousands fell that day. And then Absalom, riding his mule beneath the trees, looked up 1 second too late. Remember that famous hair? It caught fast in the thick branches of a mighty oak. The mule kept running right out from under him, And Absalom was left hanging there, helpless, alone, swinging between heaven and earth. Do you see it? The very beauty that made him special, the thing the whole nation admired, became the thing that trapped him. A soldier found him and ran to tell David's general, Joab, and Joab did not hesitate. He took 3 spears and drove them through Absalom's heart, while the king's son still hung in that tree. The favorite son was dead. And when they brought the news to David, he didn't celebrate. He had won the war, he had his throne back, but he climbed to a little room above the gate, and he broke. Listen to his words. "Oh, my son Absalom, my son Absalom, if only I had died instead of you." The greatest king in the Bible, weeping for the son who tried to destroy him, wishing with his whole heart he could trade places. So what really turned a king's favorite son into his enemy? It wasn't the hair, it wasn't even the throne. It was a silence, a father who failed to act when it mattered most, and a wound that grew in the dark for years and years. Absalom's story is a warning carved in heartbreak. The things we choose to ignore don't just disappear, they wait, and sometimes they come back wearing a crown. If this made you see this story in a way you never have before, hit subscribe right now so you don't miss the next one. And if you want to know how David's pain truly began, the secret sin that shattered his family long before Absalom was ever born, watch this next.